it became clear to me that action was the universal currency of the movie market. And action, transcended all language barriers. A good punch-up plays just as well in Hong Kong, Australia, Iceland, Argentina, everywhere.
The Bruce Lee, Kung Fu, Chop Socky movies were quite popular, and Brian thought, why not here? Why not on top of Ayers Rock?
The movie fucking kicks ass, man. It's a really good film, and it holds up to this day.
This is Inspector Fang Sing-Leng from Hong Kong.
A Chinese Dirty Harry comes to Australia and wrecks the place in the name of justice.
Don't worry about what he might have said. Don't worry about gathering evidence. Oh, no, man. Just...
Asia's international superstar Jimmy Wang Yu arrives in Sydney to star in The Man from Hong Kong. Jimmy Wang Yu is regarded as Asia's Steve McQueen.
Jimmy was just horrible.
Nasty piece of work.
One of the two worst people I've ever worked with in my life.
Hey, don't give me any shit.
He basically had no respect for anybody.
White women were scum, and white actresses were worse than scum, and Rebecca, charming and wonderful she is, was of course therefore just a piece of dirt on the ground, and he had to do a love scene with her.
Do you think you've recovered enough for me to make love to you?
I think I could stand the pain.
He insisted upon catching flies from the air and eating them before he kissed her.
What? He what?
Look, I didn't warm to him.
Brian used to stand in for Jimmy in the love scene so that he could lie on top of Rebecca Gilling. And he'd say, this is the sort of angle, John, have a look at this. This is what you need. And he's lying right on top of Rebecca, and she's lying there going...
What did you expect? Acupuncture?
Wang Yu was a top star in Asia, and he'd also directed 8 movies. And here was I, this kid, directing his first movie with a budget 4 times the size of anything that Wang Yu had had.
Jimmy Wang Yu wanted to be the boss of the show.
He wanted to be the director, and Brian was handling it so well.
He actually did a pretty good job because it was pretty demanding on him, not only directing it, but performing in it and copying the punches as well.
Every time I look at the film and see him kicking the shit out of Brian, that's not acting.
He treated me badly.
A master of Kung Fu. He used his art for an evil purpose.
I said to Brian, look, you want me to take care of Jimmy? You want me to give him a hiding? Because I was quite prepared to do that for Brian. And Brian said, no, I'll win my battle at the box office. And he did.
George Lazenby is Jack Wilton, ruthless czar of international evil.
I needed some money, and I had a hard time getting a job in the film business because of my record as James Bond. I wouldn't sign their contract, so I was basically blacklisted. He'd had a moment of glory, and I think he'd accepted the fact that things weren't that big anymore. Man from Hong Kong was probably the limo bill of the Bond film.
I want that lunatic stopped.
We didn't really know what we were doing. We just kind of leapt into it and just tried to shoot the living crap out of it. And some of it was pretty good, and some wasn't so good. But all of it was dangerous.
There were many times I thought I would get killed, that people would get killed or hurt.
The scene at Ayers Rock where the car rolls and blows up. The door flies off. You think, whoa, that thing's getting awful close.
Dangerous stuff. Everybody did it and just hope for the best.
These stunties are just smashing cars together and you're in it.
High-speed car chase sequences on open highways without any traffic control, without police permission, without anything. We just shot them.
It would get out of control and spin in front of you and you'd T-bone and you were sitting in the passenger seat. Maybe you had a seatbelt, maybe you didn't. Nobody really worried about that. We saw people hit by cars and they'd just pick them up. You all right? Have a VB, mate. You'll be all right. Just stand there, but make sure you get out of the way a little earlier. It was crazy when you think about it.
In the old days, it was just a case of ride the bike down there and get kicked off. He said, you just ride at me, I'll run and kick it. And he did.
I've been set on fire 7 times, and one of those occasions was to show George how you could be very safely set on fire.
All the guys are around saying, hey, this is going to look fantastic. You got to do it.
I duly got lit up. Chinese crew were kind of, this crazy Guaylo, what's he doing next?
And after the director set himself on fire, I thought, geez, if he's going to do it, I'll have to do it.
Knowing that it's really happening, all right, you can't buy that thrill. You can't create it, there's no special effect, but when they actually do it.
George goes through all the movements, and then he had difficulty getting the jacket off, and George starts to feel that he's burning.
My arm wiped out the grease, and the fire just burnt my arm right up here.
I've never seen anybody try to run away from his own arm so fast in my life.
Grant tackled him to the ground, and we put the blanket on him. George was understandably furious.
He threw a punch at Brian Trenchard-Smith.
No, I didn't.
He jumped up and went whack, and Dick Trenchard whacked him and, nearly broke his jaw.
I don't remember punching him. If I did, I'm sorry.
Gosh, you're not even allowed to light a match on a set now without full safety officers and things like that. So it was pretty gung-ho back then.